Tonight we bring you a story about Steve Safeland, the Director of Bioterrorism Security who has dedicated his life to selflessly serving America. Having attended West Point Academy where he was a Rhodes Scholar and later beginning his career as an officer in the United States Army, Director Safeland has developed an intuitive grasp of the government and its operations. A staunch supporter of anthrax vaccinations in the Gulf War and a government employee for over 30 years, Director Safeland feels a keen responsibility for ensuring the safety of American citizens. Tonight we're interviewing Dr. Smith, an agent of the CDC and an expert on anthrax bioterrorism, and Danielle, a livestock owner who is directly affected by Safeland's efforts to prevent an anthrax bioterrorism attack, to discuss their thoughts on Director Safeland.
Thank you for joining us, Dr. Smith. First of all, what is anthrax and what do you think of Chief Director Safeland's support of anthrax vaccinations?
Well, anthrax is a serious infection caused by a bacterium called Bacillus anthrax. It naturally occurs in the world in wild and domestic animals, and it can remain in the soil for many years. It's a potential source of infection through livestock and through ingestion. I support Director Safeland's efforts to vaccinate anthrax since it can be beneficial to the public. Anthrax is a serious matter and should be treated as such.
Thank you. Do you think a wide-scale anthrax bioterrorism attack is viable? How does anthrax spread?
Although it is unlikely, it's better to be safe than sorry. Anthrax is spread through 3 different ways. Inhalation, which is the most fatal with a near 100% death rate. Gastrointestinal fraction, which is less fatal with a mortality rate ranging from 25 to 65%. And contagiously, which occurs in healthy tissue or hides infected animals in the cut or open on skin. Each mode of contraction is serious.
Can you tell me about the World War II Operation Vegetarian?
Vegetarian was a plan in 1942 of the military to disseminate Linsen cakes that are affected with anthrax into the fields of Germany. The cakes would have been eaten by the camel and then consumed by the civilians, which would have caused death of millions of Germans. It would have wiped out the majority of the cattle, creating massive food shortage for the rest of the population that were unaffected. This is relevant because Gurn Island, off the coast of Scotland, was where these cakes were tested, and up until 1990, the land was contaminated with anthrax. This means a lot. Although anthrax is rare in America, it's still a modern threat.
Thank you for your time, Doctor. Now we bring you Danielle, a livestock owner who is directly affected by Director Safeland's efforts to prevent an anthrax bioterrorism attack. What do you think about Director Safeland's efforts?
I don't agree with it at all. It costs livestock owners too much time, hard-earned money, for what? It's not going to work. It's something that's never going to happen.
Do you think a wide-scale bioterrorism attack is viable?
No, anthrax is very, very rare in America, and worrying over it is slim chance. It's useless. It's a waste of time.
What methods of anthrax dispersal are most effective in a bioterrorism attack?
Although it is unlikely and rare, anthrax is most likely to be spread if it's inhaled, in an open wound, if you ingest it over some bad meat. However, we take very careful measures to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thank you. What are some signals that would indicate possible acts of biological terrorism?
Things such as bacterial pathogens, nerve gases, lethal plant toxins, such as ricin. There's been many reports of arsenals of military bioweapons that raise the possibility that terrorists might have access to these dangerous agents, but like I said, it is unlikely, and it is a solid threat in modern era. It's very important.
Thank you very much. So now we've interviewed doctors and livestock owners. Let us know what you think and send us your emails. Back to Brittany.
After our extensive interviews, it can be concluded that the most effective way of preventing, minimizing, and preparing for a bioterrorism attack on anthrax is to be well prepared in any kind of magnitude of attack, and know the difference between an acute attack, a wide-scale crisis, and a hoax. Thank you for joining us tonight, and good night.